Greetings, Bobby W, 6IWN here. Today I'm at US 2640 and I'm going to show you my favorite antenna, the Tactical Delta Loop by Chameleon Antenna, and it's actually several antennas. I refer to it as the Swiss Army knife of antennas. So in their documentation here, they show 4 configurations. You can do a vertical configuration. Obviously you can do the Tactical Delta Loop. You can do a V dipole, and you can also do a horizontal dipole. But they're not showing, you can do a wire config with this. You could do it in an L config if you wanted. You've got other options though. So this thing comes in 2 versions. You can get it with the mini, which is good for up to 500 watts in sideband, or you can get it to the micro, which I typically use on my SOTA and POTA operations. And this one's good up for 100 watts on sideband, but keep in mind that's going to be less when you're on your digital modes. So it comes with this multi-function adapter, and I'll show you pictures up close of everything. So what this is going to do, you're going to get a vertical out of this. You have your dipoles, and then you have your V mounts. It comes with the 2 17-foot whips that screw right into this. This has a 3/8 by 24 thread, and also included with it is the ground spike. And you can see there's a knob here for if you wanted to use counterpoise wires with your vertical configuration. The Delta Loop is a closed circuit, so it does not require counterpoise wires. So I'm going to show you all the different setups minus the wire, but I'm going to show how easy it would be. It comes with the shackle. You would hook your wire up to here, you would hang this, and you would run your long wire, and then you would have a wire hooked up somewhere. So you could use this for a ton of different stuff. Maybe you wanted a wire up at your house and you didn't want to set this up permanent, because it's not really a permanent antenna. So you could have the wire set up permanent. When you wanted to go POTA, you could grab the rest of it and then go POTA and just take this off and then go hook it up. Or you could get 2, whatever suits your needs. All right. So this does all come with a spike. I would demonstrate it on the ground today. I brought my tripod. It's going to make it a lot easier to show you guys and get up off the ground. And plus, this is how I like to operate it with. I'm going to be using the micro for this demonstration. So I am using some stuff that isn't included with this pack, but you could get it, their extra accessories. What I have here is a surveyor's tripod adapter, which simply goes from the tripod to the 3/8 24 thread. And it also has nice spots for your counterpoise to plug in with alligator clips, so you don't have to screw them on, and it's way quicker for deployment. It's definitely my favorite. You simply put on your transformer of your choice on here, your mini or your micro. And then if you were using the spike, obviously this would just screw into the spike. The spike has the 3/8 by 24 thread, so versus the tripod. And there's also extension poles you can use to get this up higher off the ground. Since it's a vertical, you would want to add your counterpoise for this. Extend it, and you're ready to go. So there's one, you've got a vertical. Okay, let's jump to everybody's favorite configuration, and mine as well, is the Tactical Delta Loop. You put your transformer on one side of the universal hub here. Whip on one end. And these are going in the V configuration. Like I said, there's other holes where it's horizontal for the dipole. So I'm in the V holes right now. Okay, make sure everything's hand snug. And then it comes with the included wire. And what I like to do is go to one side, put on your stress loop, and then I'm going to go ahead and just drop my winder. And then let it unwind as I go. And then I'll extend one end all the way out. Okay, now that that's extended, I'll go ahead and I'll hook the stress loop and then over the ball on the end. and then the clamp up top. And then start at the top and repeat. Hook up your coax, and bam, you got a tactical delta loop. This is my favorite. I'll show some footage or some mapping of the QSOs I've had, recent POTAs with this antenna, and they've been great. So take a peek at those. So for the dipole configuration, you're obviously gonna want a mast to get this thing up higher. They recommend you get at least 12 feet off the ground. I brought a mast today, so let's move locations just a little bit and see if we can't get this thing in a dipole configuration. But real quick, before we do that, let's show you how easy it is to take down. It's just like when you put it up. You lower the one end, you grab your wire winder, you wrap up your wire, you lower the other end, and it's done. You're ready to go. All right, I moved location. Sorry if there's any road noise. I'm close to the road that gives access to the lake. Unfortunately, that's what I got to deal with today because it's winter and there's not a whole lot of places I can drive the old Subaru. All right, so I have a mount on the spider beam, 3/8 by 24 thread. I'll go ahead and put the multi-adapter in here. And then just like with the tactical delta loop, you would want to put your transformer on one side. Like I said, it's winter time here and it's about to get really windy. More windy than I'd like to have an antenna up a mast. So I'm just gonna shoot this up for demonstrations, and then hopefully tomorrow won't be as windy and I can actually come out here and activate. Anyone that's familiar with the area and knows the Washoe Valley here where this lake is, and they understand how extreme the wind gets. So what I did with my spider beam mast here, this is a 40-footer. I left the bottom 5 sections, so I think I have 19.6 feet, 19.5 feet. That way it's the thicker sections at the bottom. I ditched the top part, left that at home. That way I can get this thing up to 19 feet if I want. So obviously you would want to extend your whips here for your horizontal dipole configuration. So you can also shoot the the delta loop up this as well. And it would be much better to get it higher off the ground when you're operating. But you can see right away why you're gonna want a mast, and you can't do this on the spike or the tripod. It's not gonna work, you need to get it higher. But I was quite surprised. I was doing some testing with these whips, just holding them out horizontal, because I was thinking, how is this dipole configuration going to work? But they don't flex as much as you would think. So you would hook up your coax, and then this one you want to be real sure to pay attention to your surroundings. Like I have a tree here, I have a tree over there, but I made sure to give myself just enough room. So you'd go ahead and throw it in the dipole. You could do the V, you could do the delta loop, but it's gonna do better up a mast. But I'm getting some funny looks as people have been driving by. There was a couple sitting here and they were watching me set up the different antenna configurations. I'm not sure if they could really figure out what I was doing there. All right, now I got a dipole. Let me give you a better view. Okay, let's take a look at everything that's included with the Tactical Delta Loop. It depends on what kit you buy, actually. So if you're going to buy the complete kit, it will come with the coax, with the choke, with two 17-foot whips, the spike, your wire to connect your two whips, and then it's going to either come with the Chameleon Hybrid Mini, which is good for up to 500 watts sideband, or the Micro, which is good for 100 watts up to sideband, and then the hub here for connecting it, the universal hub. That way you can do all your different configurations. So you can also get it without the coax in either of these models. And then it would be everything you see there included without the coax. All right, let's take a closer look at the Chameleon Hybrid transformers. On the left here, we have the Mini, which is good up to 500 watts on sideband. That's going to vary on your digital modes and your CW. And then on the right here, we have the Micro, which is good up to 100 watts. I really do like the shackle feature, which I have on this, which is included, and that will allow you to hang it and add a wire as well. Also included in the kit is one wire winder with 25 feet of tin copper Kevlar PTFE Teflon wire. And then you can see it has these really nice copper clamps on the end that will clamp onto the balls of your antenna. And then these are the stress loops I spoke of, that you'll go over the ball of your antenna first, and then you'll clip these on. And then these will prevent your clamps of coming off if they're ever any under stress. And also it's better on your connections as well. You don't want that stress pulling on your connection. I have the whip coming in at 0.8 pounds, collapsed at 24.5 inches. These are all stainless steel, and then they have a rolled pin. These are very durable. These aren't your Chinese cheap whips here. So I'm gonna get a couple weights here. I'm gonna get what I'm gonna call the up in the air weight, which is gonna be the system on top of your mount. And then we'll get a weight of everything combined. Okay, this is a human scale note, but I think it will be accurate enough for what we're doing here. So 0.8 per whip. I'm gonna go with the Micro first. We're at 2.4. I'm adding the adapter there, and the wire. I'm showing 2.8 pounds up in the air if you're using the Micro. Let's check it out with the Mini. Okay, let's do the Mini. The Mini is heavier than the Micro. So let's start with the whips. Add the Micro. It does have the shackle on it. The adapter and the wire. I'm showing 3.6, 3.8. We'll maybe call that 3.7 because it's kind of toggling. 3.6, 3.8, 3.7 in the air, 3.7 pounds in the air. Okay, let's do a total weight of the entire system minus the coax now. So let's add this, let's add this spike in there too this time. Sure we can still read that. And then the Mini, I'm showing about 4.6 pounds for the entire system minus the coax for the Mini. Okay, let's check out the entire system with the Micro. Add the wire. I'm showing 3.6 pounds for the entire system minus the coax. All right, let's check out some accessories that are not included with the Tactical Delta Loop, but I do find very useful in my arsenal. So my favorite out of everything in this pile is the Surveyor's adapter. If you've watched any of my videos, you already know what this is. For anyone that hasn't, what this does, there's a Surveyor's tripod, and this will get you from the threads on that to the 3/8 by 20 thread for any antenna of your choice that has 3/8 threads, so you can pop it in here. I like the feature how it's got these 6 holes drilled on the side where you can just plug in counterpoise that have banana plugs in it. And I find that very quick for deployment, and I really like using my tripod It makes stuff a lot quicker, easier. I get my antenna off the ground, and it was an inexpensive way to do it. All right, another useful item they have here, and this thing isn't that expensive, is the camera tripod adapter. So this is going to get you from your 3/8 by 20 thread to a camera tripod. So then you'll be able to screw an antenna onto there. So I could put this on here, for example, if I wanted to put this whip on a camera tripod, and then it would screw into the bottom of here. There's also the quick release adapter. This thing's super useful if you're into quick release in your antennas. So it's got a male 3/8 on one side and a female, and then this thing is spring loaded. And then you just simply push it in and twist it. It's hard to do it without an antenna, but that will lock and unlock your antenna. The puck hub, this thing's also awesome. It's kind of similar to the adapter in a way because it does have the counterpoise holes on the side. However, this is just 3/8 and it's thin and it's also dished. So for stuff like this blank adapter, they'll sit into that dish part, or your micro will fit in there as well. And then it has the holes on the side so you can add your counterpoise quick for deployment. Wire winders. I love these and I use them in all kinds of projects. I think they have them like a 5 or 6 pack. But yeah, I wrap wire on these for all kinds of stuff, including my Chameleon stuff. Also, they have their own counterpoise wire kit. As you can see here, you can buy that comes with these really nice alligator clips that are steel. They're not like these cheaper plastic ones that I've been using, but like you can see, I wrapped a set of my own counterpoise wires on one of their winders here that I made up. As I was saying, you could use a wire with your hybrid. So this is an old MCOM antenna I have for Chameleon. I could hook that wire right up to the top of that hybrid, and now I have a wire antenna. This I find interesting. I actually have 2 versions, my own version that's a little shorter and the Chameleon version. And what this is the lazy sloper wire. You can add this to the end of your whip. I believe it's 65 feet of wire, and it also has that stress ball loop. And then you can do a lazy sloper and add wire in length. That way you're vertical and horizontal. I've worked France on a summit with this hooked to a whip. It's very cool accessory. I like this a lot. That's a great idea. The Chameleon Antenna Analyzer. This thing's super useful and easier to use. So it goes from 1.6 megahertz to 160. You just turn it on, there's a switch up here, and then you tap it to go through your frequencies, and then you turn the knob. And then on the bottom here, it's going to show your standing wave ratio. The new Chameleon Blank. This is a really hot item. A lot of people really like this and wish it was out longer, including myself. So what this will allow you to do, you don't have to use a transformer. There's no continuity between here and here, the spike. As you can see, there's a Delron ring here separating it. So you can hook up your whip up here, and then you can adjust it to be resonant. So if you were to use this in conjunction with here, add some counterpoise wires, add your 17 or 20-foot whip, then you can make it resonant on what band you were trying to use. All right. These are awesome. I think I got this when I bought offset Fenner Dipole or something Chameleon had. It came in these little pouches. They also sell them too, and they're real cheap, but I use this thing a lot. As you can see, I probably should pick up a new one. The end's finally about to fall off after probably about 4 years of use, doing a lot of SOTAs and stuff and being tossed in my backpack all the time. But I throw all my stuff in there for whatever I'm gonna do. So it's all in here and it's ready to go, and I can throw it in my pack. Speaking of packs, I got one that's too big to fit on here. I'm gonna have to show you all by itself. All right, here's something I also use a lot. And I'm gonna call it the duffel pack. I'm not sure exactly what Chameleon calls it, but I'm gonna call it the duffel pack because what it is it's a duffel bag. It comes with this strap. Sorry for the close-up. My camera's a little close for this shot, but it comes with this duffel bag strap that could come on or off, and then you can access these pockets as if it were a duffel bag. But then wait, I said duffel pack, right? Okay. So It's also a backpack. As you can see, there are backpack straps on here. So you could take off the duffel straps, zip this back up, and then the top of this opens as if it were a backpack. So inside there is one zip pocket in here. You could put stuff in. There is two smaller tuck pockets. Then there's, of course, the big large pouch. And on the outside, there's a zip pocket in here. This one goes all the way up the whole length. You could fit your spike in there. You could probably fit some coax in there. That'd be a great spot for your counterpoise wires. So this is a pretty sweet backpack. I like it. Oh wait, duffel pack. Whatever other stuff that you want to slam in there. My radio. So this is perfect. I have shoved several radios in here, batteries, all kinds of stuff. So I really like this thing. This is a cool idea. And I like how Chameleon is, you're getting more than one use out of a lot of their products. So it's not just a backpack, it's a duffel pack. That's a great idea. All right, just to let you guys know, Chameleon Antenna did provide me with this antenna. I do not earn anything if you guys buy an antenna. So that being said, this is my honest review. This is really my favorite antenna. It is the Swiss Army knife of antennas. It has a lot of different configurations. It has done me well. I have had my best POTA activations with it so far. Ricky and I, we burnt up too much time making this video for you guys. We were gonna activate this park before we left, but the wind's gonna come in soon. Ricky had to be on a leash during the filming of this, and he wasn't very happy about it. So if you guys like this, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and make this day worth our while. Hope to catch you on the next one. 7-3.